Okay, hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today we have a real operational flight from Brno in Czech Republic, and we are going to Zakinthos airport. So it will be um, quite a longer flight, and it will be quite a longer preparation because as in real life sometimes happens the situation which is not good for us, and we have to delay the takeoff, and we'll do it like in real operationals. That means that we come to the cockpit, okay, so and now we check the journey tech log, and there is nothing stated, so that means that airplane is okay. Right now currently the services, potable water and lavatory was done, so it's okay, it's released, but so the captain will perform the walk around, will do the walk around, and the first officer will make an preliminary procedure. So we will start with preliminary. So battery switch on. We'll use the GPU for the time being. So wipers are parked. Hydraulic panel set, alternate switch is okay, so we can connect the GPU. As we are on the GPU, we are going down and to perform the fire test. So it's overheat detect, that's fine, that's perfect, and we can perform the fire test. All lights should illuminate it. The fire sound was audible, so it was okay. Bottles are checked, cargo fire system is checked, that's perfectly okay, and we are going directly to overhead panel. We have PSIU light node illuminates, that's perfect sign, because this switch, believe me, in real operational it's quite a long story, but if this switch is illuminated, you should have serious problems. So anyway, okay, IRS is on now align, and we can put the status, how long it will take, service interphone off, crew oxygen, we are making a light training, so that means that it will be one on jump seat, but it's okay. Engine panel is okay, EC are working perfectly. We can perform the test. Test will perform okay. This will goes after 4 minutes, so we'll check the circuit breakers, that's okay. On left and right side, we'll check the doors are closed. We have 4 gear pins, it should be 4, and the pitot covers are okay. We will check the documentations on board and emergency safety equipment. So this is from the side of the first officer, or let's say co-pilot, so it's basically okay. And what we can do the next, we can ask for catering. So catering should be right of the aft servicing door, so it will comes right over here. So that's perfect. And what we can do right now, we can perform the walk around, and we can make it like this one. So we'll go through the cabin. Cabin crew is performing the security procedure and security checklist, and the rest of their duties, like the preparing the cabin and catering and so on and so on. So basically that's okay, and we are going down. So that's okay basically, And okay, so we are right here. So we will check the probe heats. They are quite okay. We will check the eBay doors right here and right over here. They are closed, so maintenance are performing no actions up to there. Always be aware of the fact that you have total air temperature right here, so it's not damaged. Within the main wheel well, we can go here. Everything should be okay. There is no broken tubes or something like that. And the gear pin is not installed. I mean the gear pin which locks the main wheel well in position, not the steering pin, so that's okay. Hydraulic, everything is fine. What I always check is the rubber sealing, but I don't know how to check it right here. Rubber seals are okay. This is the rubber seals, that's quite fine. Shimmy dampers, it's okay. And this is the steering for nose wheel steering, so that's basically okay. So we are going like this one. I need to turn myself. The probe heats are okay. The latch and the green is okay. There is some green, let's say circle, which when it's green, and it means that the oxygen is okay. What we have to do, we check the ram doors are okay. We check the leading edge devices, lights are okay. Antennas are okay. We'll check the fan blades, all the leading edge devices and static dischargers are mainly okay. So that's fine. That's without any problems. And I'm really sorry, but I need to turn like this one. And tailpipe is fine. There is no oil leaking, so that means that that's okay. We can go to the main wheel well, check the trailing edge flaps are fine. Here we checked the hydraulics. Basically, the bigger is the system B, the system A and standby system hydraulics and the rubber sealing are not aware, so that's good sign. We will check there are no pins over here, so that means the thrust drivers are operative, IDG oil, and the doors are closed. We check the conditions of the tires, anti-skid pipes is okay. Gear pins are okay, that's why we are setting the parking brake. And so we can go further down, and I forget to check the wake vortexes right over right before the cabin. Safety valves okay, outflow valve is okay, negative pressure relief it's okay, cartridge is fine as well. The static dischargers meets our conditions, so that means there is nothing special. And we can go down a little bit, check the waste and potable water are closed. Again, check the antennas, everything okay. Go to main wheel compartment. In main wheel compartment you just checked that if everything is okay, so that means that no for example probe, so no pipes are broken, there is nothing leaking within this compartment, so that's basically that's a simple way how to check it. We check as well the tires, brake pins. We check there are anti-skid valves are okay, gear strut is fine, it's okay. nose gear pin, no gear pin, it's already there. We are going through the trailing edge device, static dischargers, navigation light is okay, it's quite fine. And then we can go and basically check as well that the pins are okay. So that means that here, if you don't see the pin, the thrust drivers are operating. Here we check the IDG oil and basically that's it. Fan blades as well, and you are checking the general conditions of the airplane. So if there is okay, you will come to the cabin and tell the first officer, or let's say the co-pilot, that walk out complete and airplane is visually okay. It's very important to say airplane is visually okay, because you are not maintenance personnel, you are pilot. So that means that from your point of view, the airplane is visually okay. So, and right now I will divide it into first officer's point of view, and that then we will jump to the view of captain. And what we request, we will request the fuel truck, and according to our operational flight plan, we should have we are approximately 4 tons below the landing weight. According to this runway performance limiting takeoff, performance limiting landing weight will be lower. So that means that I will put only additional, we have minimum block fuel of 8 tons. So I guess it will be fine for 30 minutes of holding. So I will put 9 tons of fuel on board. So as soon as the fuel truck arrives, we put 9 tons, and that's it. And now we are preparing from the side of the co-pilot. So that means that we are going to the overhead panel. We put the yaw damper on. Go through all the switches, cabin utility, EFP pass, it's okay, emergency exit light is okay. As we are refueling, fasten belts are off. We put the window heat, this should be off. Hydraulic panel is set, and trimmer switch on, cockpit voice recorder on, recirculation fan on. This panel will leave because we don't have the APU available. So now it's okay. Fuel differential pressure, everything is okay, and we put the altitude right over there. So we are planning to fly level 360. So flight level 360 will be okay. And roughly, but you have to be precise in real life, I put the landing altitude at approximately 200 feet. So that's basically okay. And now we are going through all the lights. Everything is okay as we are going to the home base. So ignitions on the right side, position lights on steady, and this is okay. And then the co-pilot comes to the AFIS panel, set the QNH, acceleration, altitude, and check the crew oxygen, tested 100%, that's okay. We are going here, and as we have low pressure on brake accumulator, we need to call the maintenance and warn them that we are a little bit for the time being pressurize the hydraulic system B. So now you can see it rises up, so it's okay. And sometimes the Kruger flaps are deployed when the system B has the low pressure. So we put the brakes like here, but it's okay. RTO and engine instruments, and I put there an error condition, but we'll do it later on. So we will check the Burnout tower. It's 119.6, so 119er decimal 6. So this is the Burnout tower frequency, that's okay. We check
Oscar Kotanko, rozumím, vítr 280 stupňů 1.
Just press it like this one in order not to disturb us, and there is no nothing stated about the conditions of the upper and lower FIR, so that means that we have no frequency. Here we put 1 to 1 decimal 5, and 1 to 1 decimal 5, and I put them intentionally as we are doing refueling. Always have flight interphone unless you are refueled, so we start the refueling and call the cabin crew that the refueling is in progress. Captain is pilot flying, so ATC should be on 1, and basically that's okay. So this is quite fine, and we'll check what is the ATC information, and ATC information is right now, I need to write it somewhere over here, sorry for disturbing, I don't have the pencil. So we have information Oscar currently, so information Oscar, and we have ILS approach runway in use to 7, so ILS to 7. ILS to 7 we have 280 degrees 10 knots, and we have 10 kilometers scattered, 4800 broken, temperature 14.4, QNH 1018. Okay, so 1018, and so that's the basic information. And what the copilot is doing as well, because the walk around is performing quite a lot time, so that's why the copilot are making this procedure. No, we have brno, and now we don't have the gate because we are on gate number 2, or let's say mic 2. It's not in database. I will check it right over here where we are. We are on mic 1. Okay, so stand number 1, mic 1. So that it's not in database, but we have the Burnout approximate position, and so we can make it along the non-standard way. This is non-standard way, so we'll put it like this one, and that's we have activate, execute, that's okay. I will need to check my my operational flight plan within the WhatSpy. This is the non-standard, it's not but anyway, okay, so that's okay. We have 25 minutes to go in order to satisfy our demand. So first point is Miko, and departure from runway to 7, Miko to Alpha we have, okay, that's quite perfect. And as we said before, we have 360 flight level, so flight level 360. Right over here we have transitional altitude. Let's check the charts, and okay, so via SID we have MECO from runway 27, there should be this one, and transitional altitude 5000, that's okay, and currently the wind condition, cruise wind average is 288.70. It's quite high crosswind components, and our dispatcher gives us the cost index of 35. So that's 35 right over here, and we have reserve our alternate is Lima Golf Alpha Victor Athens Athena Airport 2.7. So 2.7, that's quite okay, that's perfect, and this is all what the copilot is doing. Okay, and right now we are going what is doing the captain, as the captain is pilot flying, so he'll perform the light tests. Everything should be okay, that's quite fine. So light test is okay, it's performed, and now we put QNH was 1010, so that means acceleration altitude is 1600 feet, and we'll check the later on the engine out SID 1600. So we have 1600, that's okay. Flight directors on pilot flying side, the first one, and now we check with the chart if we have initial climb clearance is by ATC, so that means we pre-select it like this one, and we have it's RNAV departure, so that means that as a backup we should use the ILS cruises, so runway 273. We have pre-selected, and then we can go like this. So tested 100%, checked all the FMC lighting, this is okay. QNH it's on hectopascals, and 1010 it's okay, that's fine. Speed brake stalled, flaps up, thrust levers closed, revers are closed, engine start levers cut off, parking brake set, stop trim, norm position, that's okay, and we have frequency for ILS 111 decimal 5. So that's we have 111 and decimal 5. That's quite okay, and the VOR Burnout 114.45. Decimal 45, so that's okay, and we have only one NDB, which is for 29er. For 29er we can pre-select the NDB right here now, so that means that okay. So right now we are completed, and we can perform the checklist. So oxygen is tested 100%, navigation transfer display switch is normal position, window heat is on, pressurization mode selector auto, and we have flight instruments heading 184, QNH 1010, reading 790, parking brake is set, and engine start levers idle cut off. So that means that we have checklist completed, pre-flight checklist complete. And right now what I was I don't know why it is not illuminating, but anyway, failures, we have cleared this malfunction, and we can it's not illuminating. Okay, so we'll put it like this way. So now imagine that you have this fault suddenly. Okay, so as we can see, the security checklist from cabin is completed. They are ready for boarding, but we are not ready for boarding. But we can just press PA and cabin crew refueling is completed. Put it like this one, and put the fasten belts to on position. And now what are we going to do? We have antiskid inoperative. What does it mean for us? So now I have found how to set up the failure in FMC, and now imagine that Copilot tells to us that we have some problems with brakes. As you can see, antiskid is inoperative, and now we have a problem because first of all, the antiskid is dual channel. Okay, so that means there are two pipes on the main wheel. Okay, so that means if one channel fails, another channel can do the job, but antiskid it's basically inoperative, and we have to check what the MEL says related to antiskid. Okay, so we have to go to the MEL, and in the MEL, as you can see, that we have antiskid system. It's listed as category C, so that means that within I guess 12 calendar days it should be repaired. Okay, it's parking, it's antiskid system. It's 600, 700, 800, and 900. Okay, and this antiskid may be inoperative, so provided the associated antiskid channel is deactivated and the operations are conducted in compliance with airplane flight manual. Okay, so we are allowed to fly to our destination, but this is quite a tricky situation. Why? Because if you look at the DDPG, there's maintenance actions, so that means that they need to deactivate the associated channel. Okay, and for us as a pilots are very important operationals. Okay, and what operation says that we are not allowed to use the assumed temperature method, but we are allowed to use the derate. Okay, so this is the point which we need to have the open the DDPG, dispatch deviation guide procedure, and this dual channel failure which we have right now, we need to let's say leave it open, because in order, if you forget about something, you just look at the book and boom, that's it. Okay. Auto brake system, if is installed, should be in off position. The payload may be affected due to takeoff and landing runway landing requirements. Why? This is the very simple explanation. Because we don't have RTO, so our reaction time to press the brakes and everything makes accelerate stop distance available longer. So that means that our dual channel failure of anti-skid system means that we need to have a longer runway. So that means that if we are if you have professional electronic flight bag, you just put there that anti-skid is inoperative, and it will count with this margin. Okay. And this is applied as well for the landing distance available, but the landing distance available we will discuss let's say later due to our cruising, but in real ops and in real life you need to check it right now, because we are going to fly to Zakinthos, and Zakinthos runway, it's quite short, so we are performance limited landing weight. Okay, so what we have to do? So first of all, we do not we cannot use the assumed temperature. We have to make auto brake to off position. Okay, and in electronic flight bag, due to our performance calculations, we have to account with this situation. We can go to the QRH and look at our landing distance, and look at the failure what we have, and that's depicted over there, and then we can find what will be our landing distance required, and we have to compare it into Zakinthos landing distance available. And another point of view is extend brakes manually, since the automatic extension system may not be operative. They are somehow related, but I don't know how. It's yes, I am real captain of 737. By this is more and really moves deep into the systems. And the next point is use anti-skid in operative braking procedure. See Airplane Flight Manual section 4. Airplane Flight Manual section 4 basically says the same as the flight crew training manual, and that says that you have to apply the brakes just after the nose wheel is touching down, and try to first brake gently, and then you can, if you have more control of the nose wheel steering, then you can press the brake in order to let's say not to maximum, but to maximum allowed. So that means that we are not braking fully in order to blow the tires. Okay. And another point is that if there is and we need to check the weather conditions overhead at the Zakinthos airport, and within these conditions we'll decide it in order to repair the problem or go, because anti-skid it's not allowed on wet runways. Okay, but it's allowed on wet runway when it's grooved. When it is grooved runway, you may use you may allow to take off and landing on these runways, but it should be grooved. Okay. Okay, so that's the basically our fault. So again, the maintenance personnel are deactivate the channels, okay, and let's say pull some circuit breakers. Maybe it's somewhere over here. I don't know. I have the picture of the circuit breakers, and when it's when there is antiskid located, but I will check it within the cruise flight, and I will show you which one of the circuit breaker is it. But that's the maintenance action, and for us means, okay, we have auto brake in off position, and basically that's okay. So we know that from QRH that our landing distance required will meet our conditions. That means it will be lower than landing distance available. So we are good to go, and we can fly to Zakinthos. Okay, so maintenance can go out, and we can board the airplane. We can first of all start the APU. Okay, that's quite obvious. We have in center tank, so we can put it like this one. We'll wait for the APU, and where is it? The actions. So we can release the maintenance one, and as well we can release the fuel. Okay, because refueling is already completed, and when the refueling is completed, we may start the boarding, and we request the passenger bus. And for today's flight, we have 161 passengers on board. Okay, so I'm very sorry, but as we don't have the performance calculator, or I don't have any access anymore because I'm retired from flight aviation, so that means that that we don't have the proper performance calculation for our flight. Okay, and regarding to the cargo, or let's say checked baggage, it's not correctly depicted in OFP sim brief. It's 3.1, so 1100 we put in front, and 2000 we put into the back. Okay, and we can call the baggage loader, and as you can see, if you have some trouble within the board like now, but really now I'm talking a little bit much more let's say rapidly, and not so slower. So that means that we solve the problem very easily. But in real life, you have to wait when the maintenance personnel is okay. You have to really check your performances, if you are allowed to take off from Lima Kilo Tango Bravo on Brno runway, and if you are really allowed, or let's say if your landing distance required match to your conditions at Zakinthos airport. Okay, so and it took longer time, so that means that that takes a longer time, and to pull the circuit breakers in should be inop sticker. Okay, so that means that we cannot use auto brakes, we cannot use RTO, we have to account with manual braking all the time. So that's basically that we have antiskid inoperative, and right now we are waiting for boarding. So there is a bus, there should be some baggage loader right over there, and right now what I will check the engine failure procedure for Brno airport. So let me check it. Okay, so where is Brno airport? Okay, the engine out SID, it really depends on if you have it into the old school tables or it's depicted on your electronic flight bag, but it's a pity because I don't have this this engine failure procedure. So that means that if you look at the Burnout charts, airport charts, that means that for example, misapproach is climb straight ahead, so we will proceed straight ahead and climbing at least to 4,000 feet altitude and make it with the left turn and hold some over the here with some holding pattern over the present position. Okay, so so this will be the engine fail procedure. So now the APU is available, so we can put the APU on bus, we can disconnect the GPU, release ground power, put the 1 minute timing in order to lifespan of the APU, and then put APU on bleed. Okay, so that's the correct procedure how to make it. So that's it, and in a real airplane you are much more quicker because it goes with PMdg as well, but I will do it like it right now because you can put directly zero fuel weight and plant fuel like this one, and you can make a performance calculation much more quicker than for example you put plant fuel right over here, zero fuel, and boom, and you can go directly to your calculations. But I will do it like a real ops, so that means that we are waiting for baggage loading and everything, and then we will perform some briefing, but it will be partially briefing, so it will be not full briefing because in order just to save the time, save of your time, so we can put the APU on bleed, we can put the temperature a little bit lower. Remember, if there is a high outside and temperature, like for example we check in Brno, the temperature was here, it's 14 degrees is okay, but if we have 30 degrees, for example, what does it mean? It means that if you put it full into the cold, it should lead to pack trip off, so that means that your pack is overloaded. So please, when you are adjusting these knobs, do it like a step procedure. So little bit cool down, little bit, and little bit, okay? And in the winter conditions, in order to avoid the zone temperature, so and you would like to warm up the cabin gently. So do not press it like on the full, let's say full position, because you should have zone temperature, and it will lead to QRH action. Okay, so that's basically it, and yeah, we'll wait for the baggage loading. Okay, we will check the new ETIs. We have currently information Papa. That's okay. And what's new? ILS as well to 7. Wind is the same. QNH is the same. 1010. And basically there's no difference with the clouds, so that's okay. So we have Burnout pre-selected. Okay, so this is loaded, as I can see, and we are waiting for the aft-loader cards, and yeah, we are good to go. And in flight level, if you give me time, I will check the landing distance with the QRH, if we are okay with speed brakes, with manual speed brakes. Okay, and I hope I will not forget to put it into the arm position. But basically, if you made a mistake and put it into the arm position, there's basically no problem. But you don't need to forget to put it as the first one when you touch down, because the speed brakes significantly reduce your lift. And when you are and this is the way how to decelerate the airplane, because your landing distance required, it's counting like it's counting with automatic speed brakes and max manual braking, okay, and it's multiplied approximately 1.7, and then you have landing distance required. So believe me, the Boeing 737 can stop on the very short distance, but you have to be aware of the what's the fluctuating of your tires and what conditions of tires you have. Otherwise, you can blow your tires. So it's unpleasant situation for us. So okay, we can now disconnect it, and we can put 0 fuel weight. And we will use, as we have a strong headwind component, we will use 24 k derate. Okay, so first of all, auto brake is off, and we don't use the assumed temperature. Okay, and regarding to the takeoff, if we check the runway, we don't have the noise abatement procedure, but the runway is a little bit shorter, so but anyway, there is strong wind conditions. It really, I think, according to my opinion, what I have in top of my head from real flying, it really doesn't matter if you use flaps 1 or flaps 5 in these conditions. But anyway, we can put flaps 5, okay? And we have check the acceleration height. We are using former NADPA procedure, and from the wind condition, what was the wind condition? I forget. We have 28012 knots. Okay, so 28012 knots. Okay, that's it. So we speeds are 150. This is our takeoff safety speed, in order to name it correctly. And basically that's it. This one FMC I will leave for ground services. And yeah, basically that's it. Load sheet is completed, and once the load sheet is completed, we can tell the handling agent that we are ready and full passengers are on board. So cabin crew comes to the cockpit and tell the all packs on board, may I close the door, and you may close the door. But now what we are going to do, we are going to make a briefing. Okay, so basically the briefing are you are briefed if you are making pushback or straight from taxi stand. What is your taxi routing? What is your runway news? What's the weather? What's the NOTAMs? But I check with Burnout, there are nothing stated in NOTAMs. It's part of the briefing in your briefing room, okay? But anyway, we will brief this one, and then we will brief that we are using flaps 5, 24, D-rate. With this speed, we have this and these items inoperative. In our case, antiskid is inoperative, so that's it. We will brief SID, and we will brief let's say rejected takeoff, and we will brief the takeoff after U1, what we are going to do, and then we will brief if we have specified, we have to brief the specific SID. Okay, so we for example, in 1.5 nautical miles, turning right to this VOR, climbing to minimum holding altitude, which is blah blah blah, for example 4,000 feet, and join the published holding pattern over this facility, and that's it. Okay, so that's the general part of the briefing, and now when the briefing is completed, we may ask for the clearance, so we will ask for the clearance. So which one SID? It was Miko, I guess. So okay, so it was Miko 2 Alpha, I think so. Burnout Tower, pekný deň, Skytrail 6 Golf Echo with information Papa QNH 1010 on stand number Mike 1, request flight clearance destination Zakinthos.
Skytrail 6 Golf Echo, Transitional Tower, dobré odpoledne. Cleared to Zakinthos, make off to Alpha departure, runway 27, climb initially 4,000 feet, squawk 1472.
Okay, clear to destination Zakinthos via Miko to Alpha departure from runway 27, initially 4,000 feet and squawking 1472, Skytrail 6 Golf Echo.
Skytrail 6 Golf Echo, read correct, started approved.
Startup approved, Skytrail 6 Golf Echo. So we've got a clearance 4,000 feet, so we'll put it right here. So it's below transitional altitude. That's important to know, and it's important to know that 3,000 feet is our acceleration altitude. So 4,000 feet will be exactly the altitude when we accelerate the airplane. Okay, so that's we have. And the Miko we have on FMC, and 1472, so 1472 we have. So departure is briefed, MCP set, and transponder is set, so we can perform the before start procedure. So that means that all windows are locked and closed, we can put the center tank fuel pump switches on because we have 1 ton, so it's okay, it's quite well. We are not performing the pushbacks, so we can use all the hydraulic pump switches, that's quite fine. And check the door conditions, all doors are closed, so that's okay. And we have the startup clearance, so I guess in Brno, when I said the general part of the briefing and the taxi procedures are used, there's basically nothing stated about start the pushback, let's say APU. We don't need to use basically the transponder squawk mode S or Charlie, but we will use it. And we'll put the anti-collision lights on, and now we can read all the checklist, okay? But we have to read the checklist to line, because the fuel is 9000 kilograms, fuel pumps on, passenger signs on, windows locked, MCP we have V2150, heading. Okay, so this is why we are doing performing the checklist, because heading should be 273. So heading 273 is set, and the takeoff speeds V1, 138, 142 and 150 is checked. CDU preflight is completed, rudder and aileron trim it's 3 and 0, so it's okay. And taxi and takeoff briefing we have basically completed, and company mobile phone is off, so that means that we are ready to start. We can put the flight intercom to contact the ground personnel that we are ready to start the engines. But we have to wait for the cabin crew, and when the cabin crew says that they are ready to taxi, we can read the checklist below the line. Anti-collision lights are on and flight deck doors are closed and locked. Just you need to verify this switch, okay? And now we are ready for startup. So we are performing startup always on chokes. Okay, so engine start procedure, like this one. So start the engine number 2, okay? So, oh, sorry, I was checking my flight checklist, but you have to exactly start the engines on 25, okay? In a real airplane it shouldn't happen, because otherwise you have hot or wet start, so basically that's okay. So EGT is rising within 10 seconds. We have N1, N2 positive rotation, oil pressure is rising, it's okay, so it seems to be good start. So we have starter cut out. Now what's important, that this light shouldn't illuminate it, otherwise we have to go to QRH and start will open. So we can make an isolated pack procedure, so that means to get a fresh air into the cabin. We can stop the time here and we can start the engine number 1, okay? Press starter again. We can prepare the chart for the taxi, for example. Okay, so 25, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, that's okay, that's perfect. The EGT is rising oil pressure, so it seems to be good start as well, the engine number 1, so it's basically okay. Okay, so now we have starter cutout, and what is the procedure next? The next procedure is that we can order our copilot directly to put flaps 5 and perform before taxi procedure and checklist to line, okay? And the captain will communicate with ground personnel to remove the chokes. So the chokes will be removed right now.
Tuřany Tower, dobrý den, Skytrail 145 on April middle with information Mike request IFR clearance to Prague.
Skytrail 145, Turžany Tower, dobré odpoledne. Your requested flight level is not available for flight to Prague. Do you prefer flight level 180 or 200?
Okay, so we take flight level 180.
Skytrail 145, Bracho, standby.
Okay, so anyway, so what's the procedure? To put it on standby, to check the generators. Once I have the failure on one generator, but it was not the failure, it was incorrect voltage, it was 113, and captain tells me that I was first officer. Captain tells me this generator will trip off.
Skytrail 145, we're ready to copy clearance.
And it really happens, so that it's...
Ready, Skytrail 145.
Skytrail 145, correction 145, information Papa, time 30, QNH 1010, cleared to Praha Ruzně, Tumka 3 Alpha departure, runway 27, climb initially 4000 feet, squawk 1000.
So now we'll leave these like this in position in this configuration just to check the isolation valve is working correctly, okay? So then we press APU bleed to off, and it is related to switch and bleed valve as well, so it should be off, okay?
Skytrail 145, confirm initial climb 4000 feet.
And ignition climb 4000 feet, Skytrail 145.
Skytrail 145, feedback correct, startup approved.
Okay, we have two Skytrails.
Approved, Skytrail 145.
Okay, so anyway, we have flaps 5, a green light, so before taxi checklist generators are on, probe heat are on, anti-ice we don't need it, isolation valve in auto position, engine start switches are continuous, auto brake off because we have the failure, engine start levers are idle detent, so it's complete to line, and that means that I will perform the flight controls checked, so ailerons checked, elevator checked, rudder checked, so now we may switch off the APU, okay, press recall, okay, we have recall, but this recall, as you can see, it's regarding to dual channel failure, okay, so it's recall due to the failure which we have currently on board, because there are no any other lights or any other systems related to this recall. So recall was checked, blank the lower display unit. I always when I am making channels, I'm always talking about this to blank this because in a real airplane, when something happens with the engine, so for example high vibrations you have, or you have high oil temperature, low oil pressure, it automatically pops up. That means that you have some troubles and you have to solve the situation early. Okay, so now we can read the checklist below the line. So recall is checked, flight controls checked, ground equipment clear on the left side, clear on the right side, so we are ready to taxi basically. So okay. Aturani Tower Sky Travel 6 Golf Echo request taxi.
Sky Travel 6 Golf Echo, taxi to holding point runway 27 via Alpha.
Taxi to holding point runway 27 via Alpha, Sky Travel 6 Golf Echo. So we are good to go. We are fully aware where we are, so that's basically no problem. But anyway, if you're in doubt, check it via Alpha. Okay, and Alpha, as you can see right here, it's okay. So you always need your assistance from your first officer, which are correcting you while taxiing. Okay, so once the taxi routing is confirmed, we can press the lights. Okay, we may release the parking brakes, and I hope the steering okay, it's working. That's perfect. Okay, just watch the wingtips. If you see the airplane, it's close, really close. As you can see, it doesn't work, but in real life it should be more or less okay. Anyway, we have from cabin crew that cabin and galley is secured, so that means that we can perform the before takeoff procedure. Weather radar on pilot flying side, terrain on pilot monitoring side, reset the fuel flow, and we can perform the checklist. So flaps 5 green light, and stabilizer we have 5.7 units basically set. So before takeoff checklist is complete, we are fully ready. Regarding to taxi, for example, guys, if you are taxiing with the airplane, within the apron, taxi carefully. Okay, if you have the let's say wide taxiway and long taxiway, you can taxi above the 30 knots. It's not forbidden, but be aware not to use this control column, but use the rudder pedals in real airplane, I mean. Otherwise you can make a problem with your nozzle steering. So I hope everything is okay. We've got everything. Not put it like this one. Okay, so as you can see, the block time is already 10 minutes. So and if you are if you have in center tank less than 500 kilograms, do not put the center tank fuel pumps into on position. Otherwise you have just after rotation master caution, and we would like to avoid the situation. Okay, so we are on delta, and delta basically it's not for us. Delta is too short, so echo and alphas, we have plenty of runway in front of us. But anyway, we may prepare the departure chart, which was Miko to Alpha departure. Okay, so it's this one. So we are anytime ready to line up the runway. So this is Echo and via Alpha and make it full runway because we have antiskid and operative. I will not go from intersection, basically no way, okay? Okay, so we are approaching the holding point.
Skytrail 6 Golf Echo, wind 250 degrees, 10 knots, runway to sun, cleared for takeoff. When airborne, monitor Unicom, bottle 208. Have a nice flight, bye.
Via Alpha line up runway 27 and clear for takeoff, Skytrail 6 Golf Echo, and after departure monitoring 122.8. Ďakujem ti veľmi pekne za ATC, ahoj, maj sa krásne. Okay, so we put the lights on. No, the steering is not as I expected. Basically no response into my joystick, so I need to make it perform it like now. So okay, basically so lineup procedure is completed, runway heading 273 is checked, and so we let the engine stable, and now we can go, and I will do it non-standard, so couple the autopilot as soon as possible within the limitations. So ready. Okay, take off. Okay, we have N1 Toga. $80 knots checked. That's important to check the 80 knots. And we have V1 rotate, and you can see plenty of the runway in front of us. So it was basically okay. So positive rate gear up. So 400L now. And couple the autopilot they engaged. And just look at the nice ortho of Czech Republic. So climb thrust N1 is set, and we can go, for example, for flight level 150 for the time being. That's okay, and we should have 3,700 feet approximately in order to accelerate the airplane. So 3,500, 600, 700 is it's more or less okay. So we can put it like this now one, and we are V2 plus 15. This small white box, so we can put it to flaps 1. Always do not forget heading back with you. Okay, just now we are turning, that's okay, that's fine. So flaps up. We have the problems. So flaps up, no louds, auto brakes are off, landing gear up and off. Start switch is to off position, and V now, and we have transitional altitude, so press standard. So flight level 5-4 on both sides. That means that we can perform after takeoff checklist. So engine bleeds are on, specs: auto, landing gear up and off, flaps up, no lights, and altimeters are on standard, which is set and cross-checked after takeoff checklist is complete. So now we have assigned level flight level 360. What we can do right now, we will check our routing, and I don't know, because overhead Italy they have the mixed flight levels, and to be honest, for me as a pilot, I don't really don't care about the flight level. Okay. If there is in the operational flight plan says that you have flight level 360, so I will flight level 360. If air traffic controller says to me that okay, so you need to choose between these two levels, so I will check it which one is better according to tropopause, wind level, and cruise page. And then I will decide it which one is better for me, which one better fits for me. Okay.
Sky Travel 145 ready to taxi.
Okay, so I forget to switch about
Sky Travel 145, taxi to holding point runway 27 via Alpha.
122 decimal 8.
Taxi to holding point runway 27 via Alpha.
Okay, so we have it. And so everything is okay. So flight level 100, reset the minimums, acceleration altitude for one engine inoperative, put the lights off, verify the APU switch is off position, logo light at night off, and adjust the temperature to the hotter, because if you are climbing, you have cooler temperature in cabin, so adjust the temperature, and watch the clouds in front of you. If there are no significant clouds depicted right over there, and you have established on the en route climb speed smoothly, that means that you can release the cabin crew. Okay, so and put it into the auto position. What is auto position? Auto position means that if you are about if your cabin altitude suddenly and rapidly rise approximately above flight level or let's say 10,000 feet, so the oxygen mask deploy automatically, but you can override it with this switch. Okay, so that's why we don't put it to off, but leave it in auto position. And smoking signs, we are not talking about that because we are not non-smokers. So we can make a clean config, so ADF is off, and we can put the airports, and yeah, that's it. Sorry for that. And we can make strategy. We can check with our operational flight plan what's depicted over there, and because I was checking on PETO flight level 350 doesn't make sense. Okay, so rather 350. And where is the PETO point? So we can put a fixed page. PETO is right over here. So we have to be quickly because we would like to know if it is better to climb or let's say to stay at flight level 350 or climb to 370. Okay, and as I can see overhead PETO, we have exactly the same conditions and exactly the same temperature. It does mean that it should be maybe a better solution for us to go into flight level master caution fuel. It will be maybe better. We will see on the top of climb. We will check with the cruise page, and as you can see, optimum flight level is 370. So I will disregard for the time being this shortcut because it doesn't make sense to have a flight level within few nautical miles and then jump to another flight level. It doesn't work in real life, okay? So I will put directly flight level 370. Like this one, and also with overhead panel, okay? Flight level 370 is set. Now it's okay, and I will check if we have some air traffic controller which can guide us. Yes, we have Adria control, so that's pretty okay. That's pretty fine. So now basically we are waiting for RVSM airspace, if we are allowed to enter RVSM. If you watch my previous videos, what is RVSM airspace and how to check it properly, so you can please watch it and learn. So so now give me a time. I will look at the nice view, right? This one, and I'm going to QRH and I'm going to check it. But in real life, you should check it within your airplane flight manual or QRH, okay? If you are able to land on this runway, okay? So please give me a moment. So okay guys, so we are good to go with antiskid inoperative. Approximately the landing distance required is I will make a print screen for you. It's basically it's 1500, so so that's quite okay. So I'll put it right over here, and depict it for you for flaps 40. It's quite okay. So it's for those of you QRH performance in flight section, and it's non-normal landing distance. But for those of you who are using professional calculators, basically no problem. Okay. I will save this. And now I can go right over here. We will see what the Adria control offers to us, which flight level. So now it will be quite a boring flight, but anyway, it's okay. So we have master caution, antiskid.
In traffic, ring 752, established ILS 29.
I will see if it works as well. Okay, so we have as well the hydraulics, but anyway. Recall is okay. Oh, there's something happens with the weather condition. I don't know what could happen. I'll let it be like it is. He will stabilize himself. If you are right somewhere over here, you need to perform the flap check on the ground. So we will see if the standard QNH is standard with the weather conditions. What was depicted over there? So we'll see it. Okay, guys, that's why I was considering, because this setup and these failures, as you can see, because as we perform the walk around, as you remember, I will show you two pipes, and because each valve has two channels of the antiskid. When one channel is inoperative, it means that antiskid is operative, but within those two wheels. Okay, it's not valid longer for one each wheel, and that's why it's a dual channel. So if there are some captains who are watching this stream, or the pilots who are really aware of the fact, but as far as I remember, okay, weather condition as well. As far as I remember, if you have the single channel failure of the antiskid system, that means that you just press the lights will not illuminate it, but when you press the recall, you have the illumination. Okay, but it was just my I was flying 7 years ago, so I guess so. I only know that if there is the problems with the antiskid inoperative, so it should be perform a bite test within the acres and in eBay compartment, in order to realize which channel, if you don't see it by your eyes, it's not working. So this channel must be deactivated. So that's why I was considering about this situation, but maybe I am wrong, because it's really 6 or 7 years when I am not flying, so I don't know this properly, but all you have to know about the antiskid is that the antiskid has two channels. That means that it controls independently each wheel. As we have on Boeing 737 4 wheels, each valve or each pipe or tube control the each wheel. Okay, and if you have the failure, for example, with hydraulics, or if you have some another problem, for example, if you have a single channel failure, that means that antiskid is operating on the those of two wheels, so it doesn't operate all the wheels independently. That's why what I was checking. Okay, because otherwise how you realize the problem. And now I will check the circuit breakers for you. Okay, we have the message from Andrea 13045. Okay, Adria Control, dobrý dan, Sky Travel 6 Golf Echo, climbing flight level 370, proceeding to Petov.
Sky Travel 6 Golf Echo, dobro večer, Adria Adria contact, and please confirm to which level are you climbing to?
Climbing level 370.
6 Golf Echo, roger, climb flight level 370.
Okay, that's copied, level 370 over Sky Travel 6 Golf Echo. Okay, so we have contacted the Adria Control. That's perfect. As you can see, if you have a normal air traffic controller like this one, it's no problem that in SimBrief you have a different flight level. Okay, so now I am going to check the circuit breakers right now. Maybe I will If I found it somewhere, I will make a picture for you.
Roger, radar, Ryanair 3 Quebec Lima, final 3-1.
Where the circuit
Ryanair 3
breakers
Quebec Lima,
are.
runway 31, surface wind 270 degrees, 8 knots, clear to land, back track approved.
Roger, clear land 3-1, backtrack approved, Ryanair 3 Quebec
As
Lima.
long as you are not flying, you forget about us. Plenty of things.
SRB 4 for Bravo, ready to push and start.
Serbia 4 for Bravo, startup approved, split key NH1015, there is no pushback, all stands are self-maneuvering.
I just start approved the SRB 4 for Bravo.
Okay, so antiskid, inboard and outboard are circuit breakers P6-3, P6-3.
Malev 3 leaving my sector, Unicom 1 to decimal 8, bye bye.
Commodore 6, bye bye, Male 4.
P6-3, so guys, we'll see if I'm aware to go somewhere over here.
Enter air 554, dobra večer, Adria, set squawk 5631.
5631, enter 554.
P63, it should be right now, this one.
Enter air 554, identified, clear direct ram up.
Direct ram up, enter 554.
It's hidden somewhere over here. A landing.
Ukraine International 3785, descend altitude 9,000
Okay,
feet, Sarajevo
so-
PNH 1015,
so-
transition level 110.
Is this circuit breakers, okay?
Finish 1015, send 9,000 feet, 205.
So these two. Which channel it's
Trader
inoperative?
568 leaving my
It should
sector,
be
monitor
pulled up,
Unicom
okay?
1 to 2
And
decimal 8.
make a
Thank you for cooperation, all the
seal
best, ciao.
like this one, okay?
128, Trader 568, hvala i do slušanja, čao.
So that's it, okay? So now we can perform the fuel check overhead PETO. So
Golf Whiskey Foxtrot 911, contact Beograd 123.775, good day.
okay, according to significant weather charts from Brno, Lima Kilo Tango Bravo departure airport, we should have severe icing and moderate turbulence, which wasn't true, but the moderate turbulence was up to flight level 230, so that means that it doesn't work in Microsoft Flight Simulator as well as I think. And let me check the PETO. So Miko PETO, and PETO we should have 5.7. Should have 5.7. We have approximately
Adria, Wizard 1942, flight level
1 tons.
340, inbound Webel.
It's approximately for 30 minutes.
Wizard 1942, dobra večer, Adria, radar contact, continue Kati.
Frederick Cati, Wizard 1942.
And we are burning.
And Wizard 1942, expect Kati, flight level 350.
Expecting Cati, flight level 350, Wizard 1942.
And we are burning.
Adria Center, very good afternoon. Austrian 737 on the ground in Ljubljana. Have information on Bravo. Request IFR clearance to Tivat, please.
Okay, so we are burning the same fuel as was
Austrian
depicted
737,
in
dobra
operational
večer,
flight
Adria,
plan.
information
That means
Bravo,
2200
clear to destination
kilograms.
Tivat, flight plan route, Modro 1 Zulu departure, flight climb via SID 6000 feet, squawk 5201.
Austrian 737, clear to TIVAT as filed via the Modro 1 Zulu departure, initial climb 6000 and squawk 5201.
Austrian 737, correct.
Adria radar, good day. This is Leipzig 8029, passing level 340, descending level 260, inbound Urava.
Leipzig 8029, dobro večer, Adria, radar contact, proceed direct Lulud, descent flight level 130.
Descent level 130, and please repeat the waypoint for Leipzig 8029.
Waypoint is Lulud, Lima Uniform Delta.
Direct Lulud for Leipzig 8029, thank you.
Serbia 4 Bravo, ready to taxi.
Serbia 4 Bravo, taxi holding point Bravo, runway 23, advise ready for departure.
Taxi heading point Bravo, runway 23, advise ready, Serbia 4 Bravo.
Leipzig Air 8029er, join Lulut to Zulu arrival, expect Godla 4000 feet.
Join the Lulud to Zulu arrival and at Gotla 4000 feet for Leipzig 8029.
Ukraine International 375, request to continue descent.
Ukraine International 3875, descent for 5400 feet as published, clear the LIC Yankee approach runway 11, advise established.
Descent 5400 feet, clear to LS approach runway 11, abort to establish. Descent 55.
Correct. Austrian 435, leaving my sector, Unicom 122 decimal 8, bye-bye.
So, okay guys,
Serbia 4 Bravo, reaching on the Bravo
once again, I don't know how you hear me during this
Serbia 4 Bravo via Bravo backtrack line up program V23.
heavy traffic on the frequency, but anyway, we have two channels on each wheel. That means that one channel is independently operating each wheel. If the wheel is
UPS 3 leaving my sector, Unicom 122 decimal 8 again.
if the one channel is
UPS
inoperative, so that means that it should works for both of the wheels, okay? But if you have dual channel failure, so that means that it doesn't controls antiskid for any of those two wheels. But anyway, regarding to the
Northwind 652, dobro dan, Adria Radar set squawk 5225.
we have to perform the we have to check the mail, and the mail says to us that there is the maintenance actions and operation actions.
Adria Radar, good
The
evening, Osprey
maintenance
532,
actions
direct DARSA,
tells
flight
to
level
us
370.
that they need to
Osprey
deactivate
532,
the
dobro
channel.
večer, Adria set squawk
They should
5207.
perform the by test if
Set
they
squawk
are not fully
5207,
aware
Osprey 532.
of the which channel if
Northwind
it is war,
865 to identify
if it
the
is
climb
lost,
flight level
and we check
350.
the circuit breakers as well. So that's mean that basically, and the operational procedure is auto brake to off, manual speed brakes, and don't use assume temperature operation on wet runways are
Serbia 4 for
forbidden,
Bravo runway 23, surface wind 290 degrees 10 knots, clear for takeoff.
extend the speed brakes manually. Okay, so basically that's it, and if you are not aware, for example, for this situation, like this, as I was showing you the circuit breakers, I can show it to you right now. So, so basically that's it. So I will make a picture for you.
Eco International 3785 final runway on.
Eco International 3785, wind 220 degrees 3 knots, runway 11, clear to land.
Clear to land on 175.
Okay, so I made a picture for you. I will send a picture for you. And basically that's it, and we'll decide about the strategy regarding to the approaching to Zakinthos. Okay.
Leipzig Air 8029er, confirm proceeding direct Lolo. You are deviating from course for approximately 20 degrees to the left.
I do confirm direct Ludot for Leipzig Air 8029er.
Roger, thank you.
Okay, so this we have, so that's perfectly okay. And okay, the strategy. What will be the strategy? Okay, I still don't know how to move with this map, but anyway, we can.
Serbia 4 for Bravo, identified climb flight level 290 unrestricted.
And as you can see, we are flying through Zagreb. I will put the sim link on, and we are overhead Zagreb. So, if something happens, we are going to Zagreb airport, okay? And if we are approximately here, if we have fire on or something very severe, we'll go to Dubrovnik. But Dubrovnik is not considered as the en route alternate because it's category C. So that means that I will directly go to Fiumicino, or let's say maybe to some Serbia airport. But anyway, as we are closer here, I will go to Athens. Okay, so basically that's it, and we can unload the flight, and I will put it into the fixed page. The circles, for example, we can put the. I think the Zagreb airport has yes, it's Zagreb airport, okay. And then I will put the Fiumicino with a greater distance, but it's still within one engine inoperative, okay?
8652, 5 minutes approved.
You can see no problem for Fiumicino, okay? And on to page number 3 I will put the Athena airport.
Leipzig Air 8029er, after Godla, direct Zulu Alpha 401 for shortcut.
And as you can see, the Athens are much quite far away, but it's still within one engine operative. If I put, for example, let's say 316 nautical miles, it's approximately one engine operative, and as you can see, we can easily achieve it. So that's our en route alternate strategy. And now I will check the weather in our destination. Yeah, I will need to write it somewhere over there. And the fuel is
Lufthansa Cargo 8501, dobra večer, Adria, radar contact.
The med report is 330. 30 knots. So flaps 40 will be...
L Polonia
Okay.
126, dobro večer, Adria, radar contact.
There is only 9 kilometers of visibility, but it's okay. It's basically okay, but it's some kind of dust or haze or something like that. Basically no clouds. We have temperature 25
Ukraine International 3785, follow me,
QNH
gate 3.
1012, okay?
Gate 3,
And we will see
Leipzig Air 8029, descend altitude 6000 feet, QNH Zagreb 1015.
okay, I will check the NOTAMs as well for you.
6000 feet, QNH 1015 for Leipzig 8029.
And
9029 just updated 1013.
1013 for Leipzig 8029.
we have also fuel en route alternate airport because we are using contingency fuel, and it's basically Lima India Bravo Romeo. I don't see any this airport, but anyway, I will again check the NOTAMs and there is nothing depicted, so I will check where is the airport. It was Lima India Bravo Romeo. I guess it's Bari airport. I guess it's Bari.
Enter
Yeah.
Air 554,
No,
contact
Brindisi.
Beograd Radar 123.775, do slušanja.
Brindisi. So we can easily
123.775,
put the
děkuji, do
Brindisi
uslyšenia.
because we have contingency fuel right over there. So Brindisi.
Adrian, good afternoon. Tomjet 14, a Delta inbound Badop, flight level 390 with CPDLC.
Tomjet 1 for Delta, dobro večer, Adria, radar contact, CPDLC.
So I will skip this in order not to make a mess for you, and 130 nautical miles if we are in front of the Brindisi airport.
Olympic
It's
575, contact
basically
Beograd
this,
Radar 123.775,
SPL VOR, okay? So basically right over there we should have the fuel. It's our predetermined point procedure, or let's say decision point procedure.
Olympic 275, dobro večer, Adria, set squawk 5211.
We should have right over there. I will scroll it up again and show it for you.
Air Polonia 126, expect IOSA flight level 230, advise ready for descent.
We should have 3000 kilograms
Say again, Air Polonia 126.
Air
remaining
Polonia 126,
at our
expect
destination.
IOSA flight level 230, advise ready for descent.
But as you can see, we have plenty of fuel. 3000. We have additional 1.4, and we are 40 nautical
Olympic
miles
275
ahead.
identified.
So basically, that's okay.
And Austrian 737 in Ljubljana, we're ready for push.
Okay, so we can put.
Austrian 737, pushback and startup approved, QNH 1013.
Pushback and startup approved, QNH 1013, Austrian 737.
Tomjet 1 for Delta, Adria.
Okay, we can put Zakinthos airport right over there.
Tomjet 1 for Delta, Adria, radar calling.
So regarding the approach, we
Tomjet
are
1 for Delta, check your altimeter, radar shows flight level 387.
so 340.
We will correct it. We forgot to set this to standard. Sorry for that.
No problem, thank you.
So 340,
Ukraine International
and
375
we
for
have
setting
the
effect control
VOR.
All the best, see you next time, bye bye.
Okay, and the frequency is 110.8.
Enter Air 429er Unicorn 122.8, do slušanja.
Unicom 122.8, enter Air 49. Thank you very much.
So 110.8. set right over there, and we have the locator as well, and it's good to pre-select it right over there. So Zakinthos
Lapsige
MDB
8029 descent 3000 feet as published, clear the LS Zulu approach runway 04, report established, number 1.
3 to 6, and we can put it right over here. So now set MCP, and now setting we have pre-selected, okay, and we can pre-select the decision altitude, which is 850.
Serbia 57 Juliet, contact correction, contact Belgrade radar 123.775, ciao.
Belgrade 123.775, Fair Serbia 57 Juliet. Thank you, bye-bye.
$850 should be pre-selected right now, and what was the last meter condition? 1012, so 1012, and we can put it right over there. So decent forecast page, and
Turkish 46 Charlie Papa, next time call a bit earlier and not to pass to sector without ATC control being established. Now descent flight level 120, turn left heading 225.
okay, we'll wait for the wind, and then we'll establish our transition level. So
Ryanair 9 Juliet Foxtrot, when ready, descent flight level 330, level by Copri.
so that's okay, and what will be our standard instrument arrival? Astus. Okay, so we have Astus. This is for runway 16, so it's not valid for us. This is valid for us.
Hello, Adrian Radar. This is Ryanair 10. With information.
It makes no sense to go via Astus like this one, via Astus 1 kilo. And I guess Astus 1 kilo is depicted from
Ryanair
Glasgow
1099, dobro večer, Adria Radar, Dubrovnik information. Charlie, clear to destination Lima Golf Sierra Kilo, flight plan route. Mokun 1 Victor, climb by speed 8000, squawk 5255.
Maybe it makes sense, but I will make it like this now and go directly to Litsi, which is and this is the tricky problem. Litsi is initial approach fix.
Ryanair 1099, correct.
But anyway, if you look at the chart, you can see that Litsi point is 2200, and according to the standard instrument arrival, you should have 3000 feet. So that means that we are going directly via intermediate fix, which is DME12 from Zakinthos. So what we can do right now, we can make a departure arrival VOR 34, and we can put
Austrian
the
737, taxi calling point runway 30 via Echo 2 Papa and Alpha.
Astus to Juliet.
Echo 2 Papa Alpha holding point runway 30, Austrian 737.
And let's see its initial approach fix. We will see if I can skip this procedure. Okay, so let's make it plan mode like this one. Go to the Lex page, and okay, so there was something strange.
Northwind 8652, thank you, welcome back.
There is discontinuity, Latan, and we have Latan as well. So
Adria Central,
Latan
passing
overhead,
190, climbing
Latan.
for 280.
That's okay.
Amber 81, dobro večer, Adria Radar, Radar contact,
And
climb flight level
now
360.
it should be more or less
Climbing
okay.
360, a dobrý večer, Amber 1.
So Latan, and now watch what happens. It's Navigraph problem, I don't know how, but he cannot make it proper.
Adria Control, good afternoon.
DME arc.
Tomjet 6230,
Okay.
inbound Badup, flight level 370.
So anyway, we
Air
are
France
continuing.
6230, dobro večer, Adria Radar contact.
Continue as well.
I just confirmed that was for Tomjet at 6230, not Air France.
Correct. Tomjet 6230 identified.
Okay, Wilco.
Okay, it somehow overlaps this intermediate fix.
Turkish 46 Charlie Papa, descent altitude 6000 feet, Zagreb QNH 1013, information Charlie.
So what we can do, Charlie Delta 31, we put directly right over here. You can see what is depicted right now is okay, but what I was pointing out is this procedure. It doesn't happen in a real airplane. There are a few bugs in a real airplane as well, but this is not kind of the bug. So
Ryanair 99 Juliet Foxtrot leaving my sector, but it Unicom 1 to decimal 8, bye bye.
128
so I will make it skip this Astus and go direct from Kefalinia 27 the 27 DME to this waypoint directly. So so this point right over there, and we will see and now we have perfect DME arc. Okay, so we somehow solve the situation if we have this arrival, but again we will see what arrival we have, and basically we are prepared, but there is still something missing, and this is that we are going to burn approximately 1600 kilograms. That means that we have a 64 63 decimal 3.
Yeah, go ahead, Tomjet 6230.
Tomjet 6230, would you like to maintain 370, step climb 390?
We'd like to 370 for the time being, if that's okay, Tomjet 6230.
And the wind condition...
Tomjet 6230, no problem, 370 approved.
Wind condition was 330 at 13 knots. That means that we have to plus 6 knots. Okay, so 139er
wind 280 degrees 4 knots, runway 30,
is 145.
Clear for takeoff, runway 30, Austrian 737.
And basically we are prepared. Okay, so now we explain the antiskid. We a little bit explain about the en route strategy, what will be, and we prepare airplane for the landing, and we get rid of the discrepancy which happens in Navigraph chart.
Ryanair 1099, push and start approved, QNH 1014.
And now what I forget is when you are climbing, each 30 minutes you are doing in-flight scan. That means
Visa 1942, ready, step, climb flight level 350, level by Cathy.
We check generators.
Climb flight level 350, level by Cathy,
Visa 1942, and scan
okay. Cockpit for 5 minutes.
Duct pressure is okay.
Approach, just report back, please.
370 is okay, and what we forget is the landing altitude, and the landing altitude is 0, so we can put this 0 right over here. So that's why we are performing in-flight scan, and the lights are in good condition, 370 as well, brake pressure okay, this we have, this is okay, we check the engine instruments, if everything is okay, a little bit low of oil quantity, but a little bit low, but that's okay, and the hydraulics, we have 74, and as you can see,
Leipzig 8029er, wind is calm, runway 04, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 04, Leipzig 8029.
As you can see here with the setup, and I have the failures, okay, and hydraulic system quantity refill. That means that we have low quantity of hydraulic system A, but it's 74. Let me check it with the book, because
Austrian 737 identified, climb flight level 250 unrestricted.
What is the minimum
Climb 250
quantity?
unrestricted, Austrian 737.
Turkish 46 Papa, descend 4,000 feet, right heading 245.
Okay, so in flight, I know for sure without the book that in flight it's inhibited. But once
Turkish
we landed,
Papa, descend 4,000
when
feet, turn
it
right
is
heading 245.
below 67, that means that when we are on the ground
Bravo,
and it's below 67, it should be yellow refill. So I don't know why it is there, but anyway, that's okay. So we are well prepared and enjoy the flight.
North wind 8652, leaving my sector, Unicom 122.8, bye bye.
Unicom 122.652.
Turkish 46 Charlie Papa, right heading 280 degrees, descend 4,000. Turkish 46 Charlie Papa, turn right heading 280, descend 4,000.
So I will provide all the pictures in order to know what the pilots are using, and it's really or let's say when I was learning to fly, my instructors at the University of Flying always told to me that learn as much as possible, because otherwise the cabin crew doors closed, you forget about 50% of those
Ryanair 1099, taxi calling point runway 29er.
learned. And each things which is inboard, which can be helpful for you, you find it helpful, believe me. Okay, that's why I am a little bit old school, and I am still using the technical book with me, and
thank you.
I am still using the old let's say Jefferson Atlas on board in order to
Swiss
have the
35 kV,
situational
radar
awareness.
contact, climb flight level 370.
Roger, climbing flight level 370, Swiss 35 heavy.
With 194 to confirm next sector.
Taxi to stand Whiskey 4.
But this is the real life
Is there
operations.
194, you're still with me in the next 2 minutes.
I found there are still some bugs on PMdg which they are need to
Austrian
solve.
737, climb flight level 350.
But I hope they will do so.
Austrian 737.
Turkish 46 Charlie Papa, right heading 310. Leipzig 8029er, welcome to Zagreb. Continue straight via Foxtrot, stand Whiskey Bravo.
Continue forward via Foxtrot, stand Whiskey 4 for Leipzig 8029.
Sky Traveler 6 Golf Echo, Unicom 122.8, do slušanja.
122.8, do usłyszenia, Sky Travel 6 Go, Echo, ciao.
Ciao.
Okay, so we are on Unicom. We'll see if we have another frequency. It's Athena radar over there, 120.675, 129.675. So we'll see if you would like to contact us, because we are a little bit out of his airspace, but we are within the Greece airspace, but we are on the boundary, so maybe he will skip me. So 129er decimal 675. Okay. We'll have pre-selected over there. So for those of you who didn't listen me carefully, first of all, what was the strategy? Strategy was this circle is Zadar, so we can easily go back to Zadar. This is for Fiumicino Airport in case of something happens, and we have as well the Athena radar, and this is this circle. I explained reduced contingency fuel, which is Brindisi Airport over there, and we have additional 1.7 ton of fuel regarding to contingency fuel procedure via decision point, so that was basically okay. And regarding to the QRH, I told you that I found it that our landing distance required is more or less between 1,500 meters and 1,700 meters, but in Zakinthos Airport, as you can see, we have landing distance available 2,000 meters. Okay, so basically we are good to go, but this we need to check on the ground, and I will show you how to get rid of this let's say tricky situation with the proper join to the arc. I really need to skip the Astus point, otherwise it will make overlap and make improper DME arc, and that was another thing that via Astus, as you can see, arrival Astus to Juliet leads to a Litsi point, which is initial approach fix, but as you can see on the VOR, this point is to join the racetrack and descend with the racetrack, but we can use intermediate fix instead of, so we can go to Charlie Delta 34, and we select the MCP, we select the minimums, we select the descent forecast page. We decided to use flaps 40, but flaps 40 I will consider, I will reconsider myself if to use flaps 40, because we have a little bit much headwind component of 13 knots. Okay, so we will see later on. We will check the weather conditions prior the top of descent or during the top of descent, and we will see. And now about the anti-skid, as you know right now that we have anti-skid on all 4 gears, main wheel well gears, so that means that one channel is going for outboard wheel, one channel is going for inboard wheel, and if one channel fails, that means that anti-skid is operative, but it's operative for both of the gears. Okay, but anyway, we have dual channel failure, so that means that anti-skid is inoperative. So we check the MEL, we check the DDPG. I was showing you where the circuit breakers are, which are going to pop out, and basically the operational procedure for us regarding to the descent condition is just to put the speed brakes manually, but I'm the person who always forget about something, so maybe I will make a mistake and I will arm the speed brakes, but it's not fault. But you have to realize that you have to make it soon, and you have auto brake to off. Regarding to antiskid inoperative, that means that as soon as the main wheel well touch the runway surface, then you may start to decelerate, and decelerate first gently and then pressing brake more and more. It's most related to the carbon brakes. Okay, so that's basically all. And we have also in this case, if you can see, the hydraulics quantity is 74%, which is quite okay, because if it is below 67%, it's illuminated only on the ground, and it's yellow and with RF, that means refill. Okay, so we will see if it is illuminated on the ground, because my FMS status shows that we have low hydraulic quantity, so we will see on the ground if it is illuminated, and if the hydraulic quantity drops when we touch down, but I don't think so. Okay, PMdg products are very good and very perfect to learn the procedures, real ops procedures, but there are few bugs or few things that I realized that are not working like in real life. Okay, so yeah, basically that's it. And what I can say the next, I like the Zibo mode pretty much, because Mr. Zibek, it's coming from my home country, so we are speaking both the same language, and he is doing his 737 completely for free, and in some cases it's better than PMdg. So that's why you can use on my channel, you can see on my channel, sometimes I am using PMdg, sometimes Zibo. Why? Because in some case the Zibo has the problem which I would like to talk about, as properly modeled, but sometimes not. Okay. So as you can see, we basically see the nothing as I expected. For example, just for you, you have these foils right over here, so you can easily adjust it, and we use on our airplanes this sun protection, and but we don't have this new model, but we have just two stickers right over here, and we are moving them into the rail which is right over there. So that's it, that's compass deviation. Okay, what is missing? Crew oxygen minimums right here, table, and but basically it's modeled okay. It's without any further problems. It's deviate from airplane to airplane, so it's a pity that there is no modeled this flashlight, because it's really useful. This is hand mic. Okay, so when you press PA, you can talk to passengers that, hey, welcome on board, this is your captain speaking. Currently we are at flight level 370, which is approximately 11,000 feet. Outside at the air temperature is -52. We are just overflying the Adriatic Sea and proceeding from the left side via Athena, and we have approximately 20 minutes prior to top of descent, and the weather in our destination will be good, and blah 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 blah, and so on and so on. So this is the PA switch. This flight switch we are using to contact the ground personnel with external jacks, and this is the HF. We are basically not using them if we are not flying with airplanes and companies which are ETOPS, or let's say EDTP, extension departure time procedure, like now it's calling, using. So HF is basically for nothing in these days, because you have ACARS and you can communicate via data link, so that's okay. You have VHF2, so when I press this button, I am transmitting on the emergency frequency, which is 121.5. Okay, so if I press VHF1, I am transmitting on Unicom right now, but as I have pressed this knob, I am receiving the voices which are coming from here. It's a pity that the weather radar is inoperative, otherwise we can make a discussion about the weather radar on board, but yeah, basically that's it. So okay, so we are close to the top of descent. It means that Zadar airport is not valid for us, as well the Fiumicino, and if something serious happens, we are going to Athena. Okay, and what I would like to point out, this fix page is not mandatory. It's for you and for your help, because it helps me a lot of times when suddenly LNAV disappears, or I have some troubles, I have some problems. I can use the this fix page, and it really helps you a lot. In terms that you are suddenly surprised that something happens. Okay. And nobody from old captains are no longer happy to fly conventional navigation. Okay, so basically that's it. For our purposes, as you can see, we have VOR, and we can put, for example, we are going via Astus. And Astus, we have a DME 25 from Kefalinia. Okay, so I can put okay, Kilo Foxtrot November, and I will put 25. Okay, and if suddenly LNAV disappears from me, so I have no problems, because as you can see, it's right this circle. And another circle which I would like to point out, for me it's mandatory, but I would like to, for example, have the circle of 20 on the intermediate fix. Okay, so what I would like to do, so I would go to fix page, and we have 3-4 Kefalinia, for example, it doesn't matter in which page you put in, Zakinthos, and within Zakinthos I will put 12 DME. Okay, and 12 DME and then 7 DME. Why 7 DME? 7 DME is our final approach fix. Okay, but as you can see, the 7 DME is quite short distance, so this is the reminder me that hey, on 7 DME you should be geared down flaps 15. Okay, and for example, at this point, which is Charlie Delta, okay, so 188, it's basically okay, but if you see something like an overlap of the L nav, like this one, you should adjust your speed and it will go back. Okay? So if you can see, the L now is depicted and it's fly over this waypoint and turning back. So you can put on this waypoint speed restriction. For example, you have 220 and you see the overlap, or let's say fly over. So you put 170 and now it improves. So that's the basic tricks, for example. Okay? So go back and do not talk too much. Again, we have the same problems with weather, but anyway, it's okay. Okay, so maybe I will have a little bit of the time. So what I can do now, I will put it right so you can see the nice view. And what I can do now, I will, let's say, to make a print screen of the reduced contingency fuel. Okay, so I need to check the top of descent. Okay, we have 40 nautical miles to top of descent. Because my work for you, in order to see the documents are in progress, let's say, like this one. Okay, let's make another print screen just for you regarding to the peto fuel. Okay, so this will be this one, and now what we can do, it's reconsidering reconsidering the flap setting.
Airforce traffic, Tyrol Jet 5 Yankee, stand number 2, starting engines.
So well, okay. That's fine. We can a little bit just make a float light and brightness of our flight instruments. That's okay, and we are proud of the top of descent, so we can make a checklist. And the checklist says to us that recall, okay, antiskid we have, auto brake off, okay, landing data VRF is 139er for flaps 40 and minimums 850, which we have. Approach briefing completed, so descent checklist is completed, more or less. Okay, so now we may descend, and it's 10,000 blah, 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 blah. Okay, so as we have no traffic on air controller, we should always check the grid altitudes, so or minimum off-road altitudes, but we can go to 2000 without any further problems. And for those of you who are new to flying, you can descend via vertical speed VNAV level change. When you are descending with the VNAV, always must be on LNAV. Okay, this is Boeing recommended procedure. If you are flying on LNAV, you have options: LNAV, level change, vertical speed. And now, if you are starting to descend prior to the top of descent, you should make it via this way: descent now. When you press descent now, you have a vertical speed of 1000. So I will put it right here, because Boeing found that that is most economical descent in order to catch the glide slope. Okay, And just for your imagination, we can make, for example, level change. And if you watch my videos previously for Dubrovnik Airport, I guess it was Dubrovnik Airport, how to do the idle descent from top of descent point up to 4 nautical miles. It can go. And believe me, we can do the idle descent from the for the airports which have altitude restrictions. We can do it.
Clear traffic, Tidal Jet 5 Yankee, taxing runway 01.
If you are using level change, or always playing with the speed. So that means that if you are below the profile, so reduce your speed. If you are above the profile, you will speed up a little bit more in order to catch the glide again. Okay, so I need to check once again, because I am the person who made way too much mistakes. But anyway, what is most important for us? The 340 is set. That basically okay. And what is the next most important for us? To have proper frequency, which is 110.8. 110.8. So we are far from our airport. So that means that we can, let's say, we will see if it is depicted right over here. And now you can see we are on the vertical speed, and we are going to be high on the profile. Okay, believe me that if you know how to do, you can descend, and the Boeing 737 can go down like hell. It has a pretty much range of the speed, and for flaps, for a certain flaps, it has too much margin between stall and maximum speed. That's why I really love Boeing, because it means for me that if I extend the flaps 5 and I will put gear down and speed brakes up, or fly the detent, it means that I can easily dive the airplane and catch the glide. I really don't like these guys who are talking when there is nobody out there. Let's check the WhatsApp and you will see there is any traffic. But I don't want to know that he's starting the engines, he's performing before takeoff procedure, and so on and so. So now you can see we are 2000 feet above. So make the level change, and as you can see we are on conversion. So that means that we put into the indicated airspeed. And now with the level change, we can put, for example, it's less comfortable for the passengers. Sorry. Always check your bar pole. It's less comfortable for the passengers to make it this way, but for me it's basically okay. I like the zero gravity points. So as you can see right now, we are approaching the glide. We were 2000 feet above, and as we have target speed and V now is computed for 280 and we have 285, so that means that we are slightly approaching. And be aware of the fact regarding to the forecast page and wind conditions. The Boeing says the garbage you put in, the garbage you have. And it's true, it's completely true, because if you fill the forecast page, or if you don't fill the forecast page, that means that you are flying with constantly keeping the thrust, or constantly keeping the speed brakes up, and it's uncomfortable. So as you can see right now, we have 290, okay? That's fine. And always check if your turn, if you are able to turn with the speed. That's another story, okay? But anyway, that's no problem. We can make a float light a little bit, like here, to have our cabin pretty much. I'm pretty sure that I will arm the speed brakes. I'm pretty sure. So now you can see that we are not approaching so much. So we can increase to 300, okay? So we can dive the airplane much more. And from Astus, as you can see, we can go to 8,000 feet without any problems. Okay, so I will put the 8,000 feet right over here, and put the QNH 1012. And now it is time for approach checklist, and approach checklist sets altimeters QNH 1012 set and cross check. Always set and cross check. Okay, and now I will reconsider my flap setting. Okay, so I will go to the page, and let's check the metadata, and we have 15 knots. 15 knots, it's quite much. It's quite much. It's my common sense. We are going to burn 363 point. We are going to burn 300 kilograms, so that means 63.4. 63.4, okay? And I will use flaps. Flaps 30, and 15 knots means plus 8 knots as an additive, so that means 154, okay? And now you can see that the approach speed it's quite higher, okay? So it's not good for us, and you can reconsider it to open the QRH and check the landing distance required. Okay, so but we will not do it because there are so plenty of information for you that it's and as you can see, we are approaching the VNAV, okay? And as we are on the VNAV, Zibo has perfectly modeled it. He has common and basic VNAV. That means it reverses from VNAV path to VNAV speed, or he will constantly and depictedly keeping the VNAV path. But anyway, in real airplane, I always have the option between econ descent and econ speed. Okay, so VNAV speed or VNAV path. But anyway, we are not approaching as I would like to, so I will raise the speed brakes. And be aware, when we are raising the speed brakes, always check your flight crew operational manual if you are allowed to do with this, for example, 300 speed. Okay, we are passing flight level 200. That means that seatbelt signs on and prepare cabin for the landing. Okay, and now we are approaching the glide, so we can put it into the VNAV. And as you can see, he will drops to the point which is depicted right over here. Okay. And as we are approaching to the speed, there are no longer valid to use the speed brakes, so we can put the speed brakes like this one, and it should be okay. So, well, it's for time being, it's more or less okay, and I don't see any problems. So another bug of the PMdg. If I put, for example, the wing lights on, I would like to see in a real airplane this is not illuminating, and you can see all the leading edge device. Okay, in order to know when to use your engine anti-ice or no. Okay, so but I'm not okay, PMdg is well good product, but anyway, it shouldn't be something in common with PMdg, but it should have something in common also with Microsoft Flight Simulator, because the lights, no matter if you have LED lights or if you have retractable lights, it's always and always shining in not that high intensity that in real life. Okay, basically I am on final within 50 feet over the runway and I see basically nothing, and that's wrong. Okay, so if you can see, it will revert from VNAV path to VNAV descent. Okay, so in this case use the speed brakes because we are close to the airport. So if you are close to the airport, it has common sense not to use higher speed, because high speed and high altitude means that you are unable to decelerate or unable to keep the airplane, or let's say it leads to unstable approach. Okay, so something around 10,000 feet we should decelerate to 240. We will see, I will leave the airplane and we will see how it really works with the VNAV and LNAV. Okay, because we see that there was 2 LNAV depicted problems, and I don't know, I'm pretty sure that it has something in common with not with the PMdg but with Navigraph. So approaching 10,000 feet, and that means that we should put the lights on, and we put the landing lights and the runway turn off lights, okay? And in the night we put the logo lights on, and we should have the cabin and galley secured. Without this sign, cabin and galley secured, you are not allowed to land, okay? So you have to perform the go around. Okay, Zakinthos VOR we have positively identified with we have 30 nautical miles in front of, and we have Morse code, and some of the companies are using the Morse code. So if I have active here, I will press this knob and to identify the Morse code, and says ILS or VOR identified, and that's it. That's the part of the procedure. As well of the part of the procedure is tuning the radio navigation after go around, but the people who are streaming on YouTube are absolutely he doesn't know it, because they have no information about that. So that's the basic, let's say. So that's why I don't understand why they are calling their YouTube videos real ops. Okay, real operation mean real operation. Perform the checklist, perform the procedures, perform the callouts, and read everything. So yeah, well, basically we are going to our our standard instrument arrival, and we are allowed to go down to 5000. And as you can see, we are approaching this ring, which is 12 nautical miles. So we have to get rid of the antenna. We don't need it anymore. And in a real airplane, you have to make before the top of descent. You should have, let's say, you check the ATIS information 200 nautical miles before your airport. Okay, it's because the VHF frequency, you can receive the VHF frequency of the ATIS up to 200 nautical miles. So that's the first point. Another point, if you have it within acres, it makes no sense to catch it when you are departing, because the runway may change, there may be something different, and so on and so on. So that's it. And start your descent, or let's say when you catch the ATs, start your preparation and make your briefing. And after you make your briefing, you may start your descent and descent prior 20 nautical miles prior to top of descent. Why? Because it can suddenly change the runway conditions, SIDs or whatever, and you will be high on profile. Okay, so in this case we are starting to descend at 20 nautical miles prior to the top of the descent, and the descent briefing is nearly the same. So you brief the MCP, you brief the auto brakes you are using, you brief your CDU, you brief your nav setting, your minimums which you are using, weather conditions, NOTAMs, and as well brief your destination alternate weather conditions. Okay, that is very important. In order to know why is it important, you need to have a little bit much more experience in real life flying. why we are using this procedure. Maybe I will do the video with this kind of situation. Okay, so we are approaching to Astus point. I guess it's somewhere over there, and we can go down to 3000. Akadi, sorry, Akadi point, and we can go down to 3000. Okay, so 3000 is set. That's okay, and we can switch over the VOR, and then we can go to 2200. So now we are approaching the deceleration point, and some of the airplanes won't decelerate, so do not hesitate to use the speed brakes without any further problems. Okay, especially when you have high payload and the tailwind component during the approach. Okay, so that means that as you can see, the flaps limitation is 250 for flaps 1, so we can easily put the flaps 1, okay, without any problems, and FMC speed will drop to the flaps, and he will never go below this point. Okay, never ever go below this point. Okay, and if you feel that you are comfortable, we can store your speed brakes, and we can put non-standard, and it's called non-standard because it's non-standard flap settings, and put flaps 2, for example. We are using flaps 2, for example, when you have shallow approaches on ILS or something like that, and a low payload. That means that you can easily keep the speed 180 up to 6 nautical miles. Okay. And the VOR should be flown as the ILS, so that means with your heading select. Okay, but we will leave it like it is. Okay, and as we are approaching this flyby point, we can go to 2200, which was the last T, and it was the final approach fix. Okay, so we can make it localizer we have captured, so that means that we put flaps 5 and miss approach heading 340, which is very important. So if you, for example, like now it's increasing, so I will put non-standard flaps 10, and flaps 10 has the better stall margin. Okay, it's not producing the lift but the stall. Okay, so always brief what you are going to do when you are performing go around. Our go around altitude is 3000 feet in this case, so approach logic tells to us that we have to set the miss approach altitude below 2700 feet. Okay, so anyway, in order to be stable, gear down, flaps 15, start switches to continuous, and now do not arm the speed brakes. Okay, and I will try to do my best with my configuration to raise the speed brakes after landing. Okay, so gear down, flaps 15, we are approaching the point, we are okay, we are fine, so we can go to 900, which is approximately our decision altitude. Why I'm talking about decision altitudes, please check my videos about properly setting the minimums. And what is important? The pilot flying is approach pilot monitoring progress page in order to know what is the wind component, okay? And he should know what is the flap settings and VRF and so on and so on. So we can go to flaps 25 and flaps 30, and as we can remember here, so 154, okay, will be but we are in V now, so we now should keep 154, okay, for us. But anyway, we can convert it and put it 3000 as a approach altitude, and now we can disengage the autopilot, recycle the flight director switches, which is important, and now we can deselect the speed, and we should have the speed arm as you can see 154, 154. So basically that's okay, and we are good to go, and cross fingers to me to land the airplane properly, okay? So it's a real life, it's not that easy as it goes in a flight simulator, okay? So because you have to account much more things that in a flight simulator. You have to communicate with cabin crew, ground personnel, and so on. We are a little bit 50 feet below, so approaching minimums, and what is important to brief yourself if the runway has the center line or no, okay? Otherwise you will land on the taxiway. So minimums landing, okay, we have to go a little bit down. Okay, we are down, so okay, I will raise the speed brakes and put the maximum reverse thrust. And as we are manual braking, I will use 60 knots, so close the thrust levers. Okay, and as you can see, I will roll the airplane a little bit much, I will keep the brake pressure a little bit lower into the turning pad, otherwise I would like to make a fast turnaround. If you would like to make a fast turnaround, you have to be well experienced to do so. So now we are okay. Non-standard start the APU. Okay, and for example, we can put the non-standard and do the after landing procedure because the taxiway is quite short. Okay, so we are good to go. We can retract the flaps. That's okay. We can put the transponder to standby. This airport doesn't require this situation, and what we can do, the stabilizer trim should go to 5 units. Okay. and now we can vacate via first one. Okay, we have approximately 5 units, that's okay. I will a little bit put it like this one, because in order for you to see what happens. So we have I'm not aware that runway lights, runway edge lights are blue. Okay. Well. Okay, stop the block time and put the lights and transponder. The copilot should say put the transponder to back to 2000. Okay, but anyway, we are approaching the apron. As we are approaching the apron, we are making like this one. That's okay, and we can put this switch as well, this switch as well. So weather radar off and terrain off. Weather radar off always when you, at least when you are turning to the apron, in order to not radiate the ground crew personnel. And if you are turning to the stand, always turn off your taxi and turn off light in order not to shine the ground personnel, because you are not allowed to enter the apron without the marshaller on visual locking system. Okay, you are not allowed to enter the apron. If you have the situation,
Traffic title Jet 5 Yankee 38 miles from touchdown runway 34.
if you have such situation that you have no marshaller or no visual locking system, always stop the airplane and advise to air traffic controller. Okay, so we can put the parking brake. We can see that brake pressure was okay, so that was okay. And as you can see, we have 94%, so I don't understand why hydraulic system right here and now it's disappeared. I don't understand it. Okay, but anyway, okay, so we have parking brake set, and we have to little bit wait for a few seconds in order just to cool down the engines. Okay, okay, let's say the cool down period is okay, because we use reverse thrust. If there is high outside temperature and you are using full reverse thrust, always make a 3 minutes of cool down periods. If you are at winter conditions and using thrust reverse full, that's basically you can skip this procedure. But if you are, for example, flying to Amsterdam and runway 18 right, I guess so, you have long taxiway, so you can easily cool down the engines, and you can switch off, for example, the engine number 1. But in case of you are while using taxiway, not using much higher than 50% of N1. So now there is everything okay. So APU, it's available once again to check with overhead panel with AC/DC metering panel. That's fine. So we can switch off the engines, and the captain will turn off the flight directors, and this is very important. Put the speed back in order to not mess with another flight or turn around to have it pre-selected and you have pre-selected wrong. Okay, so always put it to 100. And the first officer is stopping the block time and releasing the passengers. So fasten belts off. We are on the ground, so we can use it. Below 10% of N1, anti-collision lights off. And now we can switch off the pumps. One leave for the APU to extend the life of the APU, and electric hydraulic pump switches to off. And imagine that we are grounding the airplane. Okay, so in this case, put the bleed to off, isolation valve to on position. Okay, open position, sorry, and IRS is to off position, and mobile phone on, and we can perform the shutdown checklist. And shutdown checklist looks like that: fuel pumps off, probe heat we have off, hydraulic panel it's set. These engine driven pumps are not we are not using them in order to off and on position because of the extended of the life of the solenoid. Okay, flaps are up, park and engine start levers cut off, weather radar is off, and parking brake. Imagine that we have from ground sign that we have chokes on, so now we may release the parking brakes. And what is the next procedure? The next procedure is that there are as well stairs arriving, bus. We can put it into 0. Okay, we can ask for this. And what is the next procedure for real crew? The next procedure for a real crew is that the captain will fill the journey log. That means that he will write, for example, the time of the using the APU, the problems which appears during the flight, technical problems. Okay, he will let's say write the delay code, why we were delayed from Brno. We were delayed from Brno because we suddenly found that the antiskid was inoperative, so there was maintenance action presented, and so we have to apply the maintenance delay code. Okay, and the first officer will fill the rest of the operational flight plan, because in real life we always have to fill the operational flight plan. That means that we put there flap setting, CG, we put there thrust setting, we put there times on the waypoints, fuel on the waypoints, so we have to account for many situations. And as it is completed, so we have to, for example, start the unload. Okay, so as you can see, the baggage is unloading. okay, we can start to whistle code. In PMdg it's called deplane, okay, but in real life we are using the term disembarkation, okay. So just in order to know. So, and once we are completed with the paperwork, load sheet, everything, so it's basically okay. That's and we are waiting for the cruise, okay. So we have to calm down, okay. We can discuss what was wrong, what was okay, and so then you can see the bus, and what we are making with what we are doing the so-called, not the next, but another point is rewrite to journey tail log and minimum or let's say configuration deviation list, if you are any. Rewrite the malfunction we have. So it needs to be filled there that it's still inoperative for another cruise, and we'll call the dispatcher before the flight, but after the flight we call to the dispatcher that the problem is still valid. So for the next crew, which will come from the hotel from overnight, they will be advised via operational flight plan, and in operational flight plan OFP there is a return just right over there that yes, the malfunction is still presented, okay. So the airplane is disembarking, and so this is the LED interior of the new cabin. Some airlines has option that only because EASA operational procedures requires to has at least one of this strip, okay. You do not have to have two, but at least one, okay. So that's the procedure. That's maybe something new you learned, okay. So now we have all the airplanes. All the airplane it's completely empty, so that means there are no packs on boards. So the cabin crew comes and tells that the disembarkation is completed. That means that she will or he will close, opens this arm switch into off position. Okay, it's crucial to have it's in off position. And now there is something which I would like to point out, and these things may be quite okay for you, because when the cabin let's how to perform it, like now, for example. And now, when the disembarkation is completed, the cabin crew are making the security checklist, okay, and security procedure. That means that they are looking if there some safety cards are missing, some life vests are missing, or there is some, for example, hand baggage left behind the passenger, okay. And if he do not found everything suspicious, he will come to us and tell to us that security checklist is completed. And that's the call sign for the flight deck. They can shut down the airplane, but you can shut down the airplane with as well improvement with your handling agent, okay. So handling agent will tell us, okay captain, all pitot covers are covered, and all the chokes are on, and everything is okay. So all doors, hatches, everything is closed. So that means that we can perform the secure procedure and secure checklist, okay. I will leave it like like now, in order to unload all the baggage, and then we will next explain what is the secure procedure and what is the secure checklist, okay. As you can see, I will highly recommend it my next video, or previous video, and there was something telling about the exterior and interior lights of the Boeing 737, and there was explaining why are we doing security procedure and checklist like we are doing, okay. So now everything is okay. So before you are making any of this checklist, make sure all your doors are closed except the forward doors, okay. And now we put the fuel pump off, and what are we going to do now? The logo light should be always off, and IRS should be off, cabin utility power off, EFP pass off, emergency exit light should be off. If you don't know, watch my videos, please. And trimmer switch off, and basically that's it. And we are, let's say, good to switch off the APU. So I will switch off the APU right now, and we will start a 1 minute cycle of the cooling of the APU. And some sources tells us that closing of the APU doors it's 20 seconds, and some sources, the newest one, that is 40 seconds, okay. So be on the safe side, so wait 1 minute and 40 seconds in order to cool down the APU and let the inlet door to be of the APU to be closed. If you suddenly press the battery into off position, it will appear to maintenance personnel with the byte test that it was something wrong, but you can damage your APU. That's why the crews are not aware of the proper procedure, and one of the most failures are the APUs. Okay, but as I said before, you can do it. You can do it. Basically, there is no problem. But you decrease the lifespan of the APU, and in the worst case, you will damage your APU. So we'll wait for 1 minute and 40 seconds. It's already passed. That's okay, and I will perform the non-standard things I will perform the secure checklist. So IRSs are off, emergency exit light off, window heat, as you can see. What is checklist? Window heat off, and PEGs are off, and secure checklist is now completed. So right now some crews are turning off the lights and so on. It's not necessary to do it, and right now we can switch off the APU. Okay, so sorry, I already switched it off. Okay, so but anyway, 130 seconds passed, so it's okay, and yeah, that's it. So we may I will make it like this one, and stairs we have, and we will close the door. Okay, like in real airplane, and you can switch off the battery, and you will leave the airplane. And once you leave the airplane, you put the sealing tape over there in order to avoid the force let's say entry into the cabin. Okay, and that's it. So it was all the flight, and with all explanation. So I hope you like it much, and this is the real operational procedure. Okay, so thank you very much for watching, and see you next time soon. Bye bye.